Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. I'm so happy to have you here. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a pregnancy update. I am almost 29 weeks and it's been about 6 weeks since my last update. So it's definitely time. I'm going to be talking to you guys about symptoms, about doctor's appointments, and any concerns I have about being pregnant during this crazy time in the world. So if that interests you, then keep watching.
You look so beautiful, and I'm so lucky to be yours, and you're taking me high.
In case you're new here, I am 28 weeks and 5 days pregnant with baby number 3, and he is our first boy. We have a 6 and a 4-year-old girl, and then he's gonna be our first boy. His name's gonna be River Benjamin, and we're super excited to meet him, and it's only just a couple months away, which is crazy. On April 8th, I will be 29 weeks, and he is currently about 2.5 pounds and has a 95% chance of survival if born early. So that's really refreshing to know, just that most likely if he did come early at this point, he would most likely survive. And it definitely gives me a little peace of mind with that. As for doctor's appointments, I actually haven't had one since the middle of February, which was right before my last update, which I'll link in the description box below in case you want to go check that one out when you're done watching this one. But I was scheduled to have an appointment mid-March, and that's when all of this crazy stuff in the world started going on in our area. We're in Washington State. I'm not going to say the word during this time, but you guys all know what I'm talking about, because there's talk that YouTube has been flagging videos that mention the words of what are going on in the world right now, so I'm just gonna keep it safe and not say it. But on March 14th, Anthony got sick, really sick, like couldn't get out of bed. I also did a video on that talking about his symptoms and how he was feeling, so I will link that as well. But my appointment was scheduled for the 17th, and we could not risk me going in case I had also been exposed, because I did not want to pass that on to anybody else. 7 days later, I started getting sick, so I'm glad I didn't go in. I also got really sick. I had been on the couch for probably a week straight, other than like to go to the bathroom, and it was horrible. It was the worst respiratory sickness I have ever had. I never got to a point where I felt super breathless and panicked. I never had a super high fever, but I did have a lot of the other symptoms, and they still wouldn't test me even though I'm pregnant. So that was a really, really frustrating time. They wouldn't test Anthony either. They wouldn't even test the girls when they developed fevers. So it was definitely frustrating. We don't know if that's what we had or not, but to be safe, I decided that since my pregnancy is low risk, I've had 2 very low risk, very easy pregnancies before, and this one was also low risk and everything had been going fine. I decided that for the good of everyone in the doctor's office, I was going to wait till I was completely clear of this whole sickness and even further out before I had an appointment. So my next appointment is not until next week, which is mid-April. So it's been about a month since I started getting sick. River has been moving around like crazy. You can see it clear as day from the outside. He kicks so hard, I feel like he's trying to bust out of there, and I don't know how my stomach is supposed to grow any more than what it is now, even with 2 months left. So it's definitely been fun feeling him move around and just knowing that he's doing okay in there. As for symptoms, I have had a few minor symptoms and 1 major symptom. I have still had a little bit of round ligament pain. It's actually decreased quite a bit from my last update. So I don't know if the ligaments are just stretched as much as they need to be, so they're not stretching more. I don't know, but it has definitely been nice to not have that hit me as often. But it's still maybe once or twice a week, if I get up too fast or move too fast, will hit me and remind me that I need to slow down. The fatigue has gone away for the most part, other than when I was sick, obviously. But since then, I've actually felt pretty awake and energetic, so that has been a good change of pace for sure. And a new symptom that has developed since my last update are sharp pains in the lower, it started in the lower left, and then 2 days later it would happen in the lower right side, kind of down to the lower middle. I don't know if they are just gas pains or not. They seem to hit me whether I'm being active or not. So I don't know for sure what they are, but they definitely go away with rest and they're not accompanied by any other symptoms. So I know it's nothing to be too worried about, but that has definitely been painful and it stops me from doing whatever I was doing before they happen. But the worst symptom still, which has honestly been with me since the beginning, has been breathlessness. I get out of breath just talking. You might be able to hear it. Just talking gets me out of breath. When I walk up the stairs, I have to kind of sit down on my bed for 5 minutes before I can get whatever I came up here for or do whatever I came up here to do, because I'm so out of breath. I feel like I just ran a marathon. So that has been tricky, but other than that, I have been feeling really, really good, which I'm thankful for. I will take those symptoms over what some women have to go through, and I'm very thankful that this pregnancy has also been pretty easy compared to what a lot of people do have to face. As for my weight gain, just to catch you up from last time, I lost weight initially when I first got pregnant, which I did with both girls as well. And then I was up 3 pounds above my pre-pregnancy weight as of the last update. I've only gained 2 pounds since then. So in the last almost 6 weeks, I've gained 2 more pounds. And that puts me a net total of 5 pounds gained. So it's pretty normal. I still have 2 months left to go. I only gained 11 and 12 pounds with the girls. So for me, it's right on par with what I did with them. I want to throw a nursery update in here because it is exciting that we are making progress on it. We have a 3-bedroom house. The girls share a room, and then 1 room is our homeschool room and office. So that means that River's nursery is going to be split with our bedroom. I'm thankful that our master bedroom is plenty big enough to basically be split into 2 rooms. And you can see behind me this dresser back here, that is River's. We moved our bed from the center of the room over towards the window with enough space between the window and the bed to be able to walk through and put the nightstand. But then we ordered a wall-mounted curtain rod that will go across here on the other side of the bed, and these really cute curtains that are white with like arrows, so it kind of keeps it light and bright, but they are blackout curtains, so when we do close them all the way, it'll give him some dark like during the day to take naps and stuff like that. And that side of the room will be his nursery. So I'm really excited because he'll be able to be in here with us, and it'll be a lot easier to get up in the middle of the night and take care of him. But he'll have his own space that's separated and dedicated to him as well. So we plan, as for now, to have that be the case for probably at least 1.5 years, if not 2 years, until he's basically climbing out of the crib and we have to change it to a taller bed. And then we're gonna revisit the idea of having all 3 of them share a room, at least for a couple years while he's young, because they really love that idea, and I really love how the girls have developed such a tight bond by being in the same room together, and I really want them to create that bond with River as well. And so that's kind of the plan, but obviously who knows what's going to change. We might move or whatever, I don't know. That's the plan for now, and we are moving along and almost done putting it together, so I can't wait to show you guys that when it's done. And then the last thing I want to talk about are any concerns I have being pregnant during what is going on in the world right now. And I mean, I think anybody that's pregnant right now is going to be slightly concerned, at least, if not, I mean, completely panicked. Probably like goes from slightly concerned to completely panicked, I'm sure. I am more on the slightly concerned side of it. I always try to remain positive and optimistic with things, because I really believe that the energy that you put out into the world is what you get back. So I really try to do that. But I'm also being very cautious. I haven't left the house. Anthony does the grocery shopping. He had to go back to work today. He was working from home since he was sick. So for 2.5 weeks he was working from home, which was awesome, but he had to go back to work today. So I know that he may be exposed to something, although they're taking precautions. But he's the one that goes to the stores, wears gloves, masks, avoids cross-contamination when wearing the gloves, all of that stuff, and I stay here. So we're doing what we can to keep safe and to expose me to as little amount of people as possible. I am I have an N95 mask on the way so that I can wear that to my doctor's appointment next week, which is really, really good and comforting to be able to have that. And we're just doing what we can. I'm honestly hoping that what I did have was the C word that's going around, because hopefully that means I would be less likely to get it again if that's what it was. But my main concerns honestly stem from the fact that this may continue into June when we are due to have him. And these are minor concerns compared to what some women are facing right now. I know women are due now and delivering their babies now and not being able to have family there to support them, which is terrifying, especially if it's their first kid. I know a lot of women are newly pregnant right now, which is an even more fragile time in your pregnancy. And if that was my case, I would definitely be a lot more worried about catching something when the baby is just starting to develop. So I know that my concerns I'm about to tell you are not as serious as theirs, but that doesn't mean they're not real concerns. So I just want to put that out there. Just in general, if you're feeling concerned and worried about something, but you feel bad about it because other people have it worse, it's okay to be concerned about things. Just because other people have it worse doesn't mean that your concerns are not valid. So I just want to preface it with that. But my main concern is Bailey and Quinn not being able to meet him in the hospital, and my sister not being able to be there to help coach me through the birth process. Anthony and my sister are the only thing that got me through. I deliver naturally with no medication, and they are literally what got me through the transition contractions, especially for both of the girls. And to not have both of them there is really, really hard to imagine. Just from a logistical standpoint, how am I gonna get through it without both of them? But also just like emotionally, because she has been able to see both of them be born, and I really want for her to be able to see him be born as well. But they currently have a one support person policy, which if this continues going on, I'm sure that would still be in place. They also have a no visitors under, I think it's 16, are allowed to come to the hospital. That would mean the girls wouldn't be able to come meet him either. So those are my two main concerns with what's going on and being pregnant. I'm not due till the end of June, so hopefully he stays in there and this is, if not over with, then almost over with by then, and they've maybe begun to lift some of the regulations that they have. I don't know what we're going to do if this is still going on, just because Anthony's mom was supposed to fly up here from Mexico in June and stay for a few months, and she would be the one watching the girls when we go to the hospital and everything like that. But if this is still going on, we don't want her to be up here and expose herself on the plane or wherever to being sick, because she does have some underlying conditions and we definitely don't want to put her health at risk. So I don't know what we will do for who would watch the girls when we go into labor. I do know that I would rather have a home birth and have Anthony here than to not be able to have him with me when I give birth. So we are kind of starting those conversations right now, since we're 2.5 months out, and kind of putting in place some backup plans, A, B, and C's. I definitely need to talk to my OB next week and get her opinions on all of this, kind of solidify those plans that we have for different scenarios that may happen. But that is it for now. I'm going to show you guys my bump real quick, which is more like a mountain at this point. And I will see you guys on Friday for the next episode of Focus Friday.
'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.